It's 2:47 in the morning, and you're standing in front of your own office, the one with your name on the door, and you can't get in. Your key card doesn't work anymore. The security guard won't meet your eyes. He just shakes his head and says,
"Can you please open the door?"
I'm sorry, ma'am. I have my orders.
That was Rebecca Chen's reality on March 15th, 2019. 48 hours earlier, she'd been celebrating. Her tech company, Nexacore Solutions, had just been valued at $340 million. She'd built it from nothing, from a college dorm room idea to a Silicon Valley darling. Then, later, she chose a partner to work with who also talked to investors. But here's the question that should keep every entrepreneur awake at night. What if the person you trusted most, your partner, your confidant, the one who knew every password, every investor, every secret, what if they were planning to take it all? How it all started. There's an old American proverb, choose your partner before you choose your business. Rebecca chose David in a Stanford coffee shop in 2014. Not romantically, though people always asked. No, this was something the business books call deeper, a meeting of minds, a fatal trust. I remember the exact moment I knew David was the one, Rebecca told me last year, her hands wrapped around a coffee cup that had long gone cold. He finished my sentences, not in that annoying way, in the way that made me feel seen, understood. He saw the vision before I even explained it. Little did Rebecca know, David saw something else too, an opportunity. They started Nexacore in 2015. Rebecca, the technical genius, the coder who could build AI algorithms in her sleep. David, the charismatic face, the networker who could charm venture capitalists over lunch and close deals by dessert. 50-50 partners, equal shares, equal say. That's what the original document said. But here's what they don't teach you in business school. Equality is just ink on paper. Power is something else entirely. Power lives in the whispers in the boardroom. The first time I heard them talking about me, I thought I was being paranoid. It was 2016, maybe November. I walked past the conference room and I heard David's voice. He was on the phone with someone, an investor, I think, and he said, "Don't worry about Rebecca. She's brilliant with code, but she doesn't understand the business side. I'm handling the real strategy." She let it slide. Red flag number one. There's a saying in Silicon Valley, when someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. But Rebecca, she believed in loyalty. She believed in partnership. She believed in David. Picking up the pace, 2016 became 2017. Nexacore grew. Series A funded, $8 million. Rebecca worked 100-hour weeks perfecting their AI security platform. David, he was in meetings, always in meetings, dinners with investors, late-night strategy sessions that Rebecca was somehow never invited to. David's voice, smooth, calculated, recorded interview style. Rebecca was the heart of the technology, absolutely, but scaling a company, that requires a different skill set. Vision, charisma, the ability to make people believe, that was my domain. Notice the past tense, was. Little did Rebecca know, David is already speaking about her in the past tense to everyone who mattered. Here's how it started, the theft that would take 3 years to execute. In early 2017, David suggested they restructure for efficiency, bring in a lawyer, his lawyer, to clean up their corporate documents. Rebecca, drowning in code and product launches, signed where he told her to sign. I trusted him with my life, so why wouldn't I trust him with my signature? Those signatures moved her from co-founder to chief technology officer. Subtle. The ownership percentages stayed the same on paper, 50-50, but the power structure shifted.
This is the final decision.
David became CEO. David got final say on hiring. David controlled investor communications. David held the keys to the kingdom. And Rebecca? She was given a title that sounded impressive, but meant something else entirely. Visionary advisor. It's what you call someone when you're preparing to make them irrelevant. Second motif. Whispered, slightly more urgent. Whispers in the boardroom, decisions made in the dark. Shifting to 2018, Series B funding, $45 million. Nexacore was exploding. Rebecca's algorithms were being featured in TechCrunch, Wired, Forbes. But at the celebration dinner, the one where David gave the toast, he thanked the team, just the team, not Rebecca by name, not the woman whose code was the reason they existed. I stood there with a champagne glass, smiling, and I felt invisible in the company I created. That night, I went home and cried, but I didn't leave. God, why didn't I leave? Because leaving would mean admitting the whispers were real, and Rebecca wasn't ready for that truth yet. Building tension. Throughout 2018, strange things started happening. Rebecca would schedule meetings with key investors. Meetings would get mysteriously rescheduled without her knowledge. She'd propose product directions in board meetings. David would nod, smile, then implement the complete opposite a week later. She'd asked for budget approval on her own team's needs, denied, while David's strategic initiatives got blank checks. Little did Rebecca know, David was having separate meetings, secret meetings, with every board member, one by one, building his narrative. David's voice from that same interview. I had concerns about Rebecca's judgment. Her technical skills were never questioned, but her emotional volatility, her resistance to scaling, her inability to let go of every minor detail. I had a fiduciary responsibility to the investors to address these concerns. Emotional volatility. It's what they call women who disagree. It's what they call founders who notice they're being erased. In February 2019, Rebecca got sick. Nothing dramatic, just the flu, maybe bronchitis. She took a week off work, the first week she'd taken off in 4 years. Pause, waited. It was the opening David had been waiting for. He called me every day I was sick. How are you feeling? Don't worry about anything. I've got it covered. I thought he was being a good friend, a good partner. He was being neither. While Rebecca was in bed with a fever, David was in boardrooms with lawyers, restructuring, again. March 13th, Rebecca returns to the office. She feels off, that instinct that tells you something's wrong before your brain catches up. The receptionist won't look at her. Her assistant seems nervous. People are avoiding eye contact in the hallway. She walks into David's office unannounced. He's there with 3 people she doesn't recognize. Lawyers by the look of them, expensive suits, cold eyes. David looked at me, and for the first time in 5 years, I didn't recognize him. His face was blank, like a stranger, like we hadn't built everything together. David stands. He slides a document across the desk. 47 pages. Her hands are shaking. She doesn't know why yet, but her body knows. Her body knows before she reads word 1. Emergency board resolution, voted on 3 days ago while she was sick. Result? Rebecca Chen is removed as co-founder, removed as CTO. Her equity stake is restructured from 50% to 8%. She's being offered a generous consulting position at $180,000 a year. Pause. For a company worth $340 million, a company she invented. I said this is illegal. You can't do this. And David, he just smiled. That's what I remember most, the smile. And he said, check the documents you signed in 2017 and 2018. I have controlling interest over major decisions in your absence. The board voted. It's done. The restructuring documents, the ones his lawyer drafted, the ones she signed because she trusted him. Buried in the legal language, Clause 14.3b, in the event of founder absence or incapacity, CEO maintains unilateral authority over corporate governance pending board review. She'd been absent. 1 week. The flu. Pause. He'd stolen her empire with a head cold. Building to crescendo. But it gets worse. David had spent 18 months poisoning the well. Rebecca started making calls. Board members, investors, advisors, the people she thought were her people. And one by one, she heard the same things echoed back. David said you were difficult to work with. David said you didn't understand business fundamentals. David said you were holding the company back. David said you had become unstable. My own company, the investors I'd pitched to, the board I helped assemble, they all believed him. His whispers had become their truth. And the cruelest cut,
The severance package included a non-compete clause. Rebecca couldn't start a competing company for 3 years, couldn't work in AI security for 3 years. David took her company, her reputation, and her future. She called lawyers. They reviewed the documents. Legal, they said. Unethical, they said, but legal. The signatures were hers. The board vote was documented. David had covered every base, every single base. She could sue. Years of litigation, hundreds of thousands in legal fees, maybe millions, against David's war chest, the $340 million company's resources.
And even if she won, best case scenario, a settlement, a fraction of what she'd lost, and her reputation, already shredded by David's whisper campaign, would be destroyed completely in the public court battle. He knew I couldn't fight. That was the genius of it. He made sure that fighting would cost me more than surrendering. March 15th, her key card stops working. Security has their orders. She's escorted from the building she'd chosen, the building where she'd slept under desks during product launches. Gone. David released a company-wide memo that afternoon. Rebecca Chen has decided to pursue other opportunities. We're grateful for her early technical contributions and wish her well. Early technical contributions? As if she hadn't built the entire foundation. As if her algorithms weren't still running every line of code. As if she were already history. That was 3 years ago. I'm sitting across from Rebecca Chen now, and she's different, harder, but there's something else in her eyes. Something that looks like strategy. People ask me if I regret it, trusting David, building the company with him. And the truth is, I don't, because he taught me something invaluable. She slides a document across the coffee table, a patent filing, dated March 14th, 2019, the day before her keycard stopped working. Rebecca with a slight smile. The algorithm that makes Nexacore valuable, the quantum encryption architecture, I filed the personal patent 48 hours before David locked me out. In my name, solely in my name. Corporate ownership was always ambiguous in the original documents. Wait, you mean? I mean that David stole a company built on technology he doesn't own, and that 3-year non-compete clause? It expired last month. I've been developing something new, something that makes Nexacore look like a prototype. Nexacore faces patent lawsuit. Original co-founder claims IP theft. Chen launches rival company backed by major investors. Little did David know, while he was whispering in boardrooms, Rebecca was filing patents. While he was stealing her company, she was protecting her genius. And revenge, as they say, is a dish best served after your non-compete expires. Rebecca with final words. He taught me that trust is weakness in business, so I don't trust anymore. I protect, I document, I plan, and I never, ever forget. But here's where the story takes a turn, because 3 weeks ago I received an email from David Park asking to tell his side of the story, claiming Rebecca is lying, claiming he was the one betrayed, claiming he has proof. And last week, I got a call from an anonymous board member, someone who was there for everything, someone who says they have documents, emails, recordings that show the truth is more complicated than either Rebecca or David will admit. Urgent whisper, someone who says the real betrayal hasn't even been revealed yet. Direct, conversational. So here's what I need to know. Who do you believe? Rebecca, the technical genius locked out of her own company? David, the charismatic CEO who claims he saved a failing business? Or is the truth somewhere in the shadowy middle ground where most betrayals actually live? Comment below. Tell me, have you ever been betrayed by a business partner, a friend, someone you trusted with everything? What happened? And more importantly, did you get revenge or did you walk away? Because here's the thing about empire building that nobody tells you. The same skills that build companies, charisma, strategic thinking, the ability to network and convince, those are the exact same skills that destroy partners. The line between visionary and villain is thinner than you think. I'll be diving deeper into this story. Part 2 is coming, and trust me, when you hear what that anonymous board member has to say, everything you think you know about Nexacor will change. Hit subscribe so you don't miss it. Turn on notifications. This rabbit hole goes deep. And if you're building something with a partner right now, learn from Rebecca's mistake. Love your partner, sure. Trust them, maybe. But protect yourself? Well, always. Document everything. File your patents. Read what you sign. Because in the world of business, whispers in the boardroom can cost you everything. Until next time, watch your back and watch who you build with. Empires stolen in silence.